Hi, Lisa. This is Matt Gress coming to you from Hartsville, Tennessee today. That's just outside of Nashville. And I just wanted to respond to your post because I found your thoughts interesting. And I guess I'll just dive right in. You said, as a human service professional, I would assist Jay with his concerns and feelings regarding neglect. In contrast, I do not impose my personal feelings on the church. I like how you immediately talk about the neglect that he is experiencing because that's maybe an aspect we don't see as much in this scenario. You might hone in some of the other things and the ways that they have been treating him. But the neglect piece is so important because he may feel discarded. He may feel like he has no support and no help. And especially with substance abuse, we know that is incredibly important. And in our spiritual lives, that's important to be a part of a collective of people that help us and keep us accountable and love us and give us empathy. And so that piece is really, really important. You go on to talk about the fact that he's an African American and that those who are not familiar with Black culture can successfully work with Black people in counseling settings, but he or she needs to be aware of the range of culture and cognitive dispositions. And that's true. I think it's so important that before we really start diving deep and offering maybe some guidance here and there, we need to understand where Jay is coming from. And that does include his heritage and being an African American. Multiculturalism is, being important in our society and being competent, that's the word I was looking for, being multiculturally competent is really important. But it's also important to remember our own limitations when learning about another culture. So I wanted to read from Prout and Fadua, the book Counseling and Psychotherapy with Children and Adolescents. Although Jay's not a child or an adolescent, they have some really good insight here to multicultural competence. On page 63, in the book, by the way, it's from 2015. They say, according to Lynch and Hansen, cultural competence is a process that includes the ability to think, feel, and act in ways that acknowledge, respect, and build on ethnic, sociocultural, and linguistic diversity. To practice in multicultural competence, one would demonstrate respect and skills in integrating multiple aspects of diversity simultaneously. But here's what I wanted to really read even after that. That's a great definition of multicultural competence. But it says, when the therapist is learning more about other cultures, they must be attuned to the fact that they are incorporating new information through a filter, their own lens in which they interpret meaning of the world. And I think that's so important because no matter how objective we feel we are or unbiased we are, we all see things through the filter, through the lens of our own upbringing, our own way of seeing things, our own way of doing things. And we even hear things differently depending upon how we were raised or how we, our spiritual beliefs, our cultural beliefs, all of that. And so it's important for us to always be aware that we are seeing things through a biased lens. And so as we were working with Jay, and you talk about using scriptures perhaps and all of that to help Jay grow and change. And you even talk about because he's being neglected by the church, that may be why he is more connected to a support group. But I think in that middle part there, we're trying to learn about Jay's background, his culture, and we're trying to find out why it is he's even here where he is at this church and how he got here and all of that. I think the most important thing is just to listen to him with empathy. Ivy et al. In the book Intentional Interviewing and Counseling, 2018, they say attending behavior essential to an empathic relationship is defined as supporting your client in individually and culturally appropriate verbal following, visuals, vocal quality, and body language and facial expression. Listening is the core skill of attending behavior and essential to developing a relationship and making real contact with our clients. So we need to listen to them individually and culturally, and just be with them. And I think that's the key here with Jay. Thank you for your thoughts. I appreciate them. Have a great day.